The judge has ruled that all three suspects will be held without bond until their trial, citing substantial evidence that suggests all three defendants are highly likely to have committed the dangerous crimes they're currently charged with. Meanwhile, two additional suspects, David Murphy and Rashad Murphy, are also facing murder charges in connection with the case. However, David Murphy has not yet been arrested. 2024 has indeed been a year filled with escalating rap beefs, with some reaching levels that are irreversible. Julio Foolio, one of Florida's emerging rappers, tragically fell victim to a meticulously coordinated attack involving 5 individuals whose sole intent was to ensure that the Jacksonville rapper would never record another song again. According to police investigations, 4 of the suspects have been apprehended: Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, Shajit, and Rashad Murphy. The 5th suspect, David Murphy, is currently on the run. The crimes these individuals committed were so poorly executed that they led to their swift capture, along with the discovery of an overwhelming amount of incriminating evidence that will likely result in them being imprisoned for the rest of their lives. Some of the suspects even went so far as to attempt to escape custody multiple times, with one of those attempts involving an effort to climb out of the ceiling by removing ceiling tiles. Unsurprisingly, these escape attempts were unsuccessful. A little over a month ago, a group of individuals with a premeditated intent to commit murder traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa to carry out a heinous crime. At the time, I stated that arrests would be made and justice would be served for all the victims, including the mother of Charles Jones, who traveled from Jacksonville this morning to be present for this announcement. Today, I stand alongside Tampa Police Major Pat Mesmer, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters, and Hillsborough State Attorney Susie Lopez to announce the arrest of 3 people in connection with the fatal shooting of Charles Jones, also known by his stage name Julio Foolio. Additionally, we have issued warrants and are actively searching for 2 other individuals involved in this case. The suspects, Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, Shajit, David Murphy, and Rashad Murphy, are all accused of participating in Jones's murder and have been charged with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder with the discharge of a firearm and 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree premeditated murder with the discharge of a firearm. Chance, Andrews, and Jeet were arrested over the weekend in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has long been aware of the activities of these individuals, and we consistently monitor these groups. We have people who are always watching them. While I won't speak to the specifics of the ongoing investigation led by Tampa Police, I can assure you that these individuals cannot move around Jacksonville without us knowing about it. This surveillance is for the betterment of our community. The ongoing beef between Julio Foolio and his rivals has been intense, with songs filled with violent threats and disrespectful lyrics aimed at each other. Julio Foolio was known for his provocative music that often disrespected his enemies, even after they had passed away. However, the situation escalated to tragic levels, ultimately leading to his untimely death. Let's take a closer look at what happened in the tragic killing of Julio Foolio. The police investigation into the death of Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, led to the arrest of 4 suspects: Isaiah Chance, Alicia Andrews, Shajit, and Rashad Murphy. The 5th suspect, David Murphy, is still at large. Authorities believe that Jones's murder was part of an ongoing gang war in Jacksonville. The suspects are reportedly members of the ATK and 1200 gangs, which have been locked in a violent conflict with Foolio's gang, 6 Block, for several years. The Department of Justice identified ATK as ACE's top killers in a 2022 report, highlighting the gang's violent history. Investigators believe that the ATK and 1200 gangs collaborated to target Jones as part of the ongoing feud in Jacksonville. On the night of the murder, Chance and Andrews followed Jones and his group, with surveillance footage capturing Chance using a phone later identified as belonging to Andrews. Phone records revealed that Chance was in communication with Jeet, who was in another vehicle, a black Chevy Impala. License plate readers confirmed that both cars traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa before the murder and left the city the next day. The final attack took place at a Home 2 Suites hotel, where 3 shooters armed with 2 R-style rifles and a Glock emerged from the Impala and opened fire on Jones's car, killing him and injuring 3 others. The shooters, who were dressed in black, were identified as Rashad Murphy, David Murphy, and Jeet. No spent rifle casings were found at the scene, indicating that the shooters used brass catchers to collect them. However, 31 spent 9mm shell casings were recovered, linking the weapons to the suspects. On June 23, Tampa police officers responded to a shooting on McKinley Drive and found 4 victims. One of the victims, later identified as Charles Jones, was pronounced dead. Jones was in town celebrating his birthday and had posted his locations on social media multiple times throughout the night. Surveillance footage played a crucial role in the investigation, showing suspects following Jones from location to location. At 4:15 a.m., Jones began heading to a hotel on McKinley Drive, with one of the suspect vehicles following him. Instead of following him into the parking lot, they staged across the street. At 4:38 a.m., 3 shooters exited a vehicle and walked toward the hotel, where they shot and killed Jones with a handgun and 2 rifles. This barrage of gunfire also injured 3 additional victims, who miraculously survived. On June 26, a traffic stop on Jeet led to the discovery of a Glock 9mm pistol, a .223 rifle, live rounds, and spent casings in his car. While the pistol did not match the casings from Jones's murder, the rifle casings matched those from previous shootings, including a May homicide and an earlier attempt on Jones's life in October 2023. Further searches at Jeet's home uncovered a gun safe containing multiple rifles, one of which had a brass catcher, along with spent 9mm shell casings matching those found at the murder scene. Additional evidence included ring camera footage showing Jeet, Chance, Andrews, and David Murphy at an Airbnb in Tampa, about a mile from the murder scene. The Airbnb was booked under Rashad Murphy's name from June 22 to June 24. Surveillance footage from Jeet's home showed him and Chance loading bags large enough to carry rifles into the black Chevy Impala before heading to Tampa. Less than a week after the murder, Jacksonville police arrested Jeet, Chance, and Andrews. Rashad Murphy was apprehended on July 30 at an apartment complex in Jacksonville. Despite these arrests and the overwhelming evidence against them, David Murphy remains on the run. Police are working tirelessly to locate him, as his capture is critical to bringing full closure to this high-profile case. The investigation into Julio Foolio's murder has uncovered a complex network of gang activities and violence. The evidence, ranging from surveillance footage to recovered weapons, has been instrumental in bringing those responsible to justice. As the search for David Murphy continues, authorities are committed to seeing this case through to its conclusion. Since this information has come to light, all signs point back to Young and Ace, raising questions about whether he is being investigated in connection with the case. Reporters have even asked the police if Young and Ace are under investigation, given the connections. Here's how they responded. Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring that group and those associated with them. We have people who are always watching them. I won't speak to the details of the chief's investigation, as that is up to the Tampa Police Department. However, we do not currently have an active investigation on Young and Ace. Still, he cannot move around Jacksonville without us knowing about it, and that is for the betterment of